Hi, this is Hi Bob Poor Bob, and we're about to play some Ultimate General Civil War.
Back away and broke them back out is because they were actually lagging behind my infantry units, and I wanted to make sure they got a shot off before the end there. So now we're looking at just a few units left, and now we just have to figure out how to get them to kill the guys that are there. So maybe having these guys down here is a good thing for right now, because I do move some units kind of to the north to try to take out that cav. So maybe that wouldn't have gone so well. Maybe it would have ticked on over to the next one if I hadn't had those units down there. But I really don't think that's the case. So we're taking Lee and we're going on an adventure. There is an artillery unit sitting in that farmhouse there, and the only way to take it out is to go after it. It is sitting in front of the infantry that are there. I see that guy's spotted, so I go ahead and move him up just a little bit, just to try to keep him from getting hit too hard there. So we go ahead and move all these guys, trying to go ahead and get some shots to finish off this cav. And I really thought that I had actually completely finished off his cav up there, and I had not. There's actually one unit that definitely gets away up here, and I thought that it had gotten away for like a second and then shattered just from like over damage on one of the other units, because that sometimes happens. But I was wrong, and I definitely did not get the kill here. See, there's that one shatters, and I thought the other one might have shattered too, but it had not. So we are going to take a couple hits here from this artillery unit, but that's okay. We go ahead and bring Lee around the back. The reason for that is it gets those infantry units whirling and twirling, and also allows us to get shots on the other artillery that's back there, and sometimes we can even steal a supply wagon, which is actually what ends up happening in this one. Is I actually get a hold of a supply wagon back there, which is pretty cool. So we're just kind of moving units around, getting them into position. We were supposed to have one more melee cav. We only got one melee cav, so it is not worth using. Sometimes I can actually use... See, I thought that was them just running away up there, and actually there is a unit up there. You can't see him on the mini-map, you can't see him there, but there is one unit that got away, and I was like, oh, well, I see the horses there. They shattered. No, one of them got away, which will come to haunt me a little bit later. So now we are going to go ahead and get doubled up there in that forest. Instead of having one unit in the forest and one unit out of the forest, we're going to go ahead and try to get some good cover here. I try a couple different places to get good cover. Finally get one that I like well enough. So now we are getting units over from the other side. We need to get these guys going after, and then I see the supply wagon, so I go after it. It's usually there. It's not always there, I don't think. See, so I have my cav here, and I'm like, if I had two cav, I could do something with it. Like, if I can get them to chase after my unit with those infantry units, then I can come up and I can hit that artillery with a pair of double cav. But a single cav just doesn't have the same punch to it that a double cav does. It just doesn't quite do the same thing to a unit. And with them having two units of infantry right there, it's just asking to get knocked out. So go ahead and put one of the units actually on that vision point so I can go ahead and make my other unit whole, because I really don't like having a unit on the front line there that doesn't have skirmishers. So here is where I mess up. I leave my units of infantry back from the front line here to cover the snipers, but not close enough to actually help them. And I hear a charge go off here, and I think they're going after my general. But actually, they're going after one of my snipers. I forgot that we actually had a unit of cav, or two, that did not get wrapped up this time. So here I should have gone ahead and actually taken the time to manually move. So you hear that charge go off. You don't see any units here, and I'm looking right here. I'm like, ooh, look, there's a cav, but he's not doing anything. It's fine. We'll be fine. So we can move up and go ahead and hit there, right? It'll be fine. So I come back up here, and I'm like, okay, so where is that charge coming from? I don't know. Maybe it's not here. And then I'm like, oh, we're taking shots. I should have manually moved these up to the top. So I use my general to pull him off of the skirmishers there. So got him turning around, and then I'm going to just step forward and take a shot on him, because now I'm flanking him, which is, and right now, oh, there's some painful stuff going on right now, and I'm so sad about what is going on right now. See, got him. So now I should get my general out of there. I should pull him back across to the north and around and down. And there is a cav unit fighting my snipers right now, and I don't even see it until right now. Come on, when do I see it? Right now? Now I see it. 300 men. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, seriously. And he shatters with 300 men left, and I'm just like, whatever. Usually they wait till like 200 to shatter, and I'm like, you were in melee. Like, the least you could have done is gone ahead and surrendered, so at least I get that out of it. But no, I get nothing out of it. Nothing at all. And that's really disappointing. So now I go ahead and I start actually microing these guys a little bit more, which I should have done to begin with. Really, I should have microed them here a little bit more even. And now my cav would be helpful because that other unit is far enough back. Here's where I get ambushed by cav the second time. 2 units of cav come in on me, and I'm just like, oh, great. I'm going to lose my general. Not a big deal. That's what he's there for. He's there to just mess around with these guys and keep them busy. The thing I'm sad about, though, is this here. I should have microed these guys better. Should have microed them to be right across the top so they wouldn't be in range of that. But I try to be lazy and just have them just move forward and attack. I really need to... So there, I had them holding fire after that other artillery unit died so that I could hit this artillery unit. Or that one. Either one. Yeah, my general's going to die. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get over there with this one and get sight. And then I'm like, I just can't. There's just no way to get there. So we've taken, I think, almost 50 casualties on one of our snipers. I think it's close to 50. I can't even. This playback is so terrible. Trying to see what's actually there is just impossible. So we lose Lee. We go ahead and get all these guys going back. And we're going to go ahead and put them back into their parent units in the end, because... And I see that they are pushing too hard here. And I'm just like, okay, we're going to go ahead and pull our men forward and take care of that, because the snipers can't do that alone. They can't handle those kind of numbers coming in at them all at once. So what I'll do is I'll pull my snipers back and have them do other things instead. So by holding those units down in the south, what I have done here is made a situation where they see no units behind them, so they have pulled all of their units into this open here, which leaves them extremely susceptible to me moving into this forest behind them, as long as I can do it quickly and efficiently. So what I do is I am thinking about where exactly I want to go with this. Come on. Get them all So I have set that supply wagon to resupply my 20-pound parrots back here. That's the goal. Because those 20-pound parrots eat ammo like crazy and also are amazing damage dealers. As long as we keep them focused in on the units that we should, they will really do good work for us. We need to keep them focused in on artillery units as much as possible, obviously. And with the mod, it's easier to do because they will snap to them if there's nothing else really close. So that is really good. So now we've got all these guys, and I'm like, okay, we can go ahead and return them now. We're safe now, right? Wrong. We are not safe yet. I did not realize that. I don't think I've ever had this happen. But there is actually a third instance of cavalry making me cry a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty annoying. So I think about actually declaring an attack on the cavalry, and then I'm like, if I do that, they're probably going to like move out of vision or something like that, and then I'm going to forget to move them forward. And also, if one unit gets there before the others, it's going to get charged, and bad things are going to happen. Let's just play it safe and not do that. So the cav come in again, and it's only a 400-man unit. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? For reals, what are you doing right now? Like, seriously. And of course, they all say blocked and all that, so I can't get them to actually just fire. And I'm like, okay, fine, well then move. And we still, I'm not sure if we even get the kill here. I think he actually gets away, which is really disappointing. But there's just no way to chase down Cav at that point. But look at it. It's like a under 200 man. The other one shattered at like 330. So I'm going to go ahead and move out here because I realize that we are in dangerous territory. If they start marching up behind here, I'm going to lose another general. And I'm already down a general. And this one doesn't have a whole lot of health. I think it's down to half already. So we can't afford to get it killed at this point. And they bring in the other unit of Cav. And my general just moves so slow to get started. Like, he's so fast once he gets up to speed, but at first, like, trying to move out of those houses takes forever. So I'm looking around, I'm like, where's that Cav? I think the Cav suicided into that unit of infantry there. So we don't have to worry about the Cav anymore. Finally, they only have, I think, one unit left that we just broke like a few seconds ago. So we should be fine for a bit, right? No more Cav problems. Please, no more Cav problems. Yeah, there's, in the center there, that is the unit that we shattered down south just now running up there. So it's been shattered for a bit. So I have completely forgotten about my skirmishers down here. So I go ahead and move these forward too. Now we've got 6 skirmishers. And I'm like, I'm going to actually really micro these guys. You have to be really, really careful with these skirmishers. Because, and I'm not as careful as I should be, because I should probably already be looking at them to make sure that they're okay. And I'm trying to think of a way to get shots on that artillery up there. I need to get shots on the artillery up there. I don't want to leave that artillery alone up there. I want to kill all their artillery and then leave myself with the best opportunity. So here is their last unit of Cav. And he tries to make a nuisance of himself, and then he just runs off instead. And I'm like, man, I was hoping that we could pop him there, but got him down to 150. He's still not shattered. Whatever. We'll just have to do this again. So we move forward with the snipers. I have that one sniper sitting in the back because he is the one that got hit really hard. Just refreshing skirmishers here just to keep them fresh. Not trying to cheat or anything, I promise. Just trying to get them back up to 250 or whatever number they'd be at, just to try to keep them from, disappearing. So we go ahead and get a few units over here to wipe out this one. This is that one that I thought I had wiped out, and I just had not wiped out at all. So here's where the micro comes in. There can be units in here. So what you want to look for is anytime your units get sighted, Like, if your skirmishers are getting sighted, then there's something there. Like, there's got to be a pretty good size unit there, or you wouldn't be getting spotted. Excuse me. And if you get spotted, then you run away, because it's just a bunch of skirms. Like, I don't have the ability to do anything against full infantry units in the forest if I don't have something. So right now, I should be taking all those big units, and I should be moving them up. Because at this point, there's no reason not to, at all, that I can think of. And I am really mad at myself for not making that leap. It's a huge mistake, I think, to not move those units up at this point. Like, maybe earlier on, I was moving some units up there, I was doing some shenanigans, yes. But now, I should have moved them forward as soon as I moved those skirmishers forward. Now, we're just a little bit too late. We're not, like, too late, but we are later than we should have been. At this point, we're wiping out these artillery units, and we're just going to move all these skirms all together, and we are going to take on this second one. And I'm going to be actually micro heavy here instead of being stupid and just telling them to attack. I'm going to actually come at them from only one direction. I'm going to come at them straight on so that none of their supporting units can help out. And we are going to just nuke them, like, right there. Almost all gone. And now we're going to start taking hits from the sides, and I'm like, let's get out of here. And I'm trying to pull back the front ones that have already fired and get the ones in the back to fire, and we get them. Now we just have to get all these skirmishers to back out, and we will meet up with all their parent units, and then we will push from the south here. So what this allows you to do is, if you can, in this hour and 30 minutes, well, in this phase, if you can get the captures of all these units in this phase and just tell them to move south, as they move south, the number of units that you have in the south goes up if you have them captured. They count as your units. Therefore, as you have more units in the south, you can push more units to the north without having it trip on over to the next phase. Here I'm looking through each one and moving them to their respective units so that we can get them all tidied back up and ready for the push into this forest here. So you move all those units to the south, and then you move all your units to the north. That allows you to get ready for the next phase. And in just an hour and 30 minutes, I'm going to have every single one of these units captured that can be captured, because I think one or two of them shatter. And on top of that, I'm going to have the majority of my army in the northern third of the map. And their army is going to be in the southern third of the map. And we are going to be able to do that only because of what we're doing right now. We are getting them captured without moving into the north. That is the big secret here. You cannot move units into the north or you will trip the flag. I think it's so many units compared to how many units you have in the south, or how far, where your average unit is, or something. Something about your units being in the north makes this happen, and it is not pleasant. You can lose 2 hours of fighting. It is super annoying. And whenever you lose those 2 hours, you do get them back at the last phase. But the catch is that you don't actually get them back, because right now you're only having to face this many men. Once it opens up, you have another like 10,000 men to deal with. And right now, if you can get your men into position now, then whenever it opens up, your men will all be in position to go ahead and just destroy them. You can just absolutely melt their faces off. Here, I am mostly in position. I am not fully in position by the end of this. I really think that with the right timing, I feel like if I had pulled those guys to the north whenever I should have, if I pushed just a little bit differently here, if I did things just a little bit differently, like right now, I should be moving some unit to fill that gap. Not just the one unit to kind of fill the gap, but I should fill that gap. I have the men to do it. I have the units sitting there. I should just move those ones in the forest, one of them over into the gap and one of them to the edge there, and that would be plenty. I just need one more unit there. Need to push a little bit faster here. I feel like I kind of tiptoe a little bit here whenever I could have pretty much moved through up into the forest a little bit faster. But, I mean, you still got to knock the units out of the forest that are in the forest, so there's not a whole lot you can gain in time here. And once you get to the end, you have to take whatever time you need to do what you need to do on this last part. So pretty soon here is going to be the part where I really regret not having a unit filling that gap. So we take a shot there, and I'm like, nope, you are not going to take that. We don't need to have to take that shot. So we're going to move forward and get him to rout right off the bat instead of letting him get any more shots off. So I'm telling all these guys not to fire. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I have my general moving up to the north there. And I want to get over there, and I want to get eyes on his general. I mean, his artillery. And I want to go ahead and get that unit of artillery wiped out, because it has been annoying me for far too long here. I should have made this move a while back. I should have made this move a while back. I need to get these guys in position to actually get in here to capture these guys. We got plenty of units here. We did really good, getting our units into position. But see, like right now, they all need to be moving. If I unpause it, I unpaused it without them moving. I made a mistake there. I should have... See, this is like several minutes of time that I should have been moving these guys. It's not that bad. I thought it was going to be up until I shot it. Oh, yeah, well, no, never mind. I did mess up then. If I don't move all these guys forward before... before I unpause, then I definitely... Okay. Those guys I'm going to hold back as blockers at this point and just move forward these other guys. Okay, so we're moving forward in the forest. Not quite as far forward as I would have liked to have been, but we are still at least moving forward. We've only taken a few, like 100 and something losses on those front units. That is really good. I'm really feeling good about that part. Like, I really feel like you could have a ton more casualties on those guys and still be playing really well. So I did a really good job of keeping them protected, both from the artillery to begin with by having my general out there get shot instead of them, and also just paying attention to them, keeping them alive, keeping them from having to take too many shots, moving forward that guy on the side to help out there. Oh, well, look at that. There's their cavalry again. So now we go ahead and select all these guys and tell them to fire on that one guy. And we make a mistake here. We move away too fast, and they don't all get to fire. So now they've all switched targets, and we have to target them again. Okay, and this time we are just going to sit there because I'm like, he's going to die anyway. I might as well just have him sit there. He can tank however much he tanks, and I'm like, see, should have had that unit over there. Should have had that unit over there. But I didn't, and now I pay for it. I mean, it's not a huge price, but see, then this guy starts running forward. He could have gotten shot. He was facing backwards. Like, it could have been really bad there. And I just got lucky that it wasn't really. That's all there is to it. Luck. So now he's down to like 100 men, and I'm just like, okay, maybe we can just get off like one more shot. No, we can't. We're just going to have to deal with it, I guess. So here we are. We have them all wrapped up. We've got 44 minutes left, so we do not have a lot of time to be messing around with this. We need to get it done and get it done as fast as possible at this point. We need to get everybody moving forward. We need to actually attack here. So I'm just kind of looking around, seeing where everybody needs to be, getting everybody moving forward. I see that the 1072 unit there looks like he's going to fire, so I tell everybody to break off skirmishers and fire at him before he can, preferably before he can shoot at me. But he gets a little bit of a shot there, but I think we get a shot into him pretty quick, but not quick enough. We did not actually stop him from getting a full shot at us. So there's a shatter, and they start surrendering. And I'm like, okay, that's it. We got this. At this point, it's over. We didn't get the kill on the artillery up there, but we did get some good damage in on him. So I'm okay with that. I go ahead and decide not to move my front guys forward because the front guys are already... See, and then that guy goes straight through, and I'm like, whatever. Then we get this guy over there, and of course they immediately surrender. Because the fact is that they don't actually want to... So one secret I've found is if you tell your units to charge the supply wagons, usually they do a good job, the supply wagons do a good job of not getting captured too fast. And then you can actually use your charge. You just have to make sure and kind of target the one that's kind of in there a little bit further. And there we go. We have a complete surrender. So we put them on run and we tell them to go south. We just want them to get as far south as possible. Now, we're going to take all of our units and tell them not to run, because now we don't want to run. We want to walk because we need our condition for the next phase. So what we're doing is we're finding all the Harper's Ferries because they have maximum condition already, so we don't need to run them any. So we can have them move forward and then still be able to run the other guys if we need to, because they're all kind of low on condition, obviously. I mean, low on stamina. We want to be able to run them to get more stamina. So we want to move all our snipers to the north, because the snipers are really important and do really good work if we get them there in time. We don't really get too much use out of them. We could have done more with them if we'd pulled them to like a flank and got flanking shots and things like that, which I don't do. But we do use them effectively. We just don't use them as effectively as we might be able to if we had, done a couple things differently. We are going to get a surround of the little flat top up there too by the next thing, which is pretty cool. So we'll actually get 4 surrounds in this map, which I don't think I've ever done 4 separate surrounds before on this map. They aren't completely perfect, but they're pretty good. So we get that supply wagon moving south too, because there's no reason to have him here either. So we're going to move them over into our pile of artillery over there. We went ahead and set them to not fire. I shouldn't have moved these guys. All 4 of these units would be helpful going to the north here, and I think it's a mistake that I pulled any of them to the south there. They should have all stayed up north. moved even further north even. Now, of course, it's probably a good thing that I didn't move them north right off the bat, because there's a good chance that these units are not far enough south yet to influence where my average unit is and how many units I have to the south. So maybe it's a good thing I didn't have them go, but I really think that I should have just held them there and then moved them to the north once those other units got further to the south. I mean, we've got 30 minutes here. It took me just 15 minutes to go from kind of surrounded to they're done. And only an hour and 30 minutes since we really started moving those guys even to the north at all. So, I mean, that's just an hour to capture all those units. We let one unit get away to the north, and we let one unit shatter. Besides that, we captured all of them right there. I mean, obviously, we didn't capture the cav and all that. The cav is just so hard to actually get a capture on, especially melee cav, because melee cav just fights to the death, and you do not want to be in melee with it if you can help it. So I go ahead and... Oh, there's that cav. Kill it. Still not dead. How is this cav still alive? The other one shattered at 300. 330. This one, it's at 104 and keeps taking huge volleys and just is like, yeah, what's your point? Whenever I take a volley on my cav, I take like 60 losses from a single infantry unit. And I'm breaking off a skirmisher unit and an infantry unit and doing like 30 kills. Not fair. It's really not that bad, though. For the most part, I think I come out pretty good on that. This one unit of infantry has been taking shots, some, I think. And its skirmisher unit probably took quite a bit of damage whenever it was moved forward. Which is a little bit... I really feel like I could have played that part better. There's a couple pieces that really could have been done better, but for the most part, most of it is pretty good. So we go ahead and get... I should pay more attention to how much condition different units have and actually move the ones that have different amounts of condition to different places, because like this front line over here along the forest could have low condition and be just fine because they've got time to recover. But any units that I send to the north there are going to be moving that entire time to the north, and then the thing is going to change, and whenever the thing changes, we need to get to the north even further. We can't just sit around and wait. We have to actually get up there and get into position. We do want to go ahead and move through the forest a little bit here, just because we want to get that cav. We want to find that cav. We don't want to let him get away if we can help it. So I'm trying to kind of box in everything and keep that cav from getting away. Go ahead and move my supplies to keep them with us. I went ahead and had them run to try to get them out of off the top of the other one. And I forget to tell him not to run anymore. So he's still running and will continue to run and will waste all of his condition. Just a little bit sad. There he goes. He's still running. Now we can go ahead and let our snipers rest. That's what I'm going to let them do here. I'm just going to let them rest for a bit without moving them forward. Since they were the first thing there, you don't want to move them too far north and have it go off. See, I think that's the guy that's running, and we didn't even realize that he was still running somehow. I'm not always the brightest. I'm not going to lie. But now we've got these units. They're pretty far to the south now, so we have a pretty good chance of not having too much trouble with this. Now, I do miss having a second cav here. I do wish I had a second cav. I think that we could do better with 2 cav. I also think that I could have done a lot better if I had had these 2 units just stay up in the north. Like, there is no reason those 2 units should be having to, like, play catch up at this point. I put that guy on hold because he's got low stamina. He's got like 50 stamina, and I'm like, I don't want him to get exhausted. So these guys, I wish they could have been at the top of the map over there. If they had been at the top of the, if my units that I want had been at the top of the map, I could have done a lot better, I feel. That's part 2. See you in the next one.